Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is race 9 of 12 here in Season 2 of the NOSSCAR Short Track Series. We're at Martinsville Speedway, guys, for a 50-lap race. After today's event, we will be 3/4 the way done the season and 3/4 the way done to figuring out who your Season 2 champion will be. Let's get over to the starting grid, folks. On the front row, making his return, is Jay Taylor in the number 5 car. Outside of row 1 is Just Ken in the 78. Inside of row 2, TyMac in the 24. Larson Rocks outside of row 2 in the 31. And then you have Dale Jr. in the 88 car on the inside of row 3 with Man Anger in the 17, right there with him. Caleb Starr in the 95, inside of row 4. Humpy in the 43 car has become a short track ace as of late, right there starting 8th. Inside of row 5, starting 9th, the 46 car of E. Kills, making his second start in NASCAR. Daniel Harmon in the 23 car, on the outside, of row 5. Inside of row 6, Kansas Kids in the 15, Rockin' Lunatic in the 41. Inside of row 7, Killer Miller in the 47, and Tyler Scott in the 16 car. Inside of row 8 is Gavin in the 25, and that is your 15 drivers for today's feature event at Martinsville Speedway. And the green flag is out, folks. 18 drivers in total will receive points in today's event at Martinsville Speedway. 15 of them made it to the feature race, and now Ken takes an early lead. Jay Taylor, the pole sitter, runs in second, TyMac third. Larson Rocks in the 31 car takes fourth from Humpy in the 43. It's a 50-lap race here at Martinsville Speedway. The NOSSCAR Short Track Series is one of 3 C-Division NOSSCAR leagues and one of 6 leagues in total sanctioned by NOSSCAR that are hosted on the NASCAR 15 video game on the PlayStation 3 console. The game is only $9.99 directly on the PlayStation 3 store if you purchase it and download it from the PlayStation Store. Head over to NOSSCAR.com and scroll to the bottom of the homepage to find details on how to sign up and become a NOSSCAR driver. The National Online Super Stock Car Association of Racing is a non-profit online racing organization with the sole purpose of trying to display the racing abilities of NASCAR fans. Just Ken in the 78 car, the defending Short Track Series champion, is the leader. That's Jay Taylor in the 5, running in second, TyMac in the 24 in third. Larson Rocks in the 31 car runs in fourth. He's lost the front 3 a little bit here. And it's Dale Jr. in the 88 car running in 5th. Remember, there is a bonus point for leading a lap, and there is another bonus point for leading the most. Now we're getting a report Humpy in the 43 car has gotten around Dale Jr. in the 88 to take 5th position. The battle you're watching is the battle for the race lead. Larson Rocks in the 31 trying to get up there with them. We know all these drivers are going to have to make a green flag pit stop at some point in the race. All NOSSCAR Short Track Series races are 10% distance of real-life Cup Series events. Custom setups are on. No cautions. And the fuel use and tire wear have been bumped up to ×4. Oh, and the 41 car of Rockin' Lunatic was spun on the inside coming out of turn 2 that most recent time by. So put him in the 15th position. Evidently he had some sort of an issue. He is the only car that has went 1 lap down so far. It's been one heck of a battle for the race lead since the get-go here. You're watching the defending champion, Just Ken, in the 78. trying to keep his car out front, in front of the former NOSSCAR X2 Series champion Jay Taylor in the number 5 car. He used to drive the 88, and they are in the middle of contract negotiations to figure out if he will be driving the 88 once again or not. There's the 46 of E. Kills trying to stay on the lead lap, and it was Gavin in the 25 just in front of him. Those drivers running in 14th and 13th. TyMac in the 24 got real loose that most recent time by, coming out of turn 4. He lost a lot of ground on the front two. And now Jay Taylor peeking to the inside of Ken. Couldn't quite make a move. Trying to just maybe even psychologically get Ken to think, you know, he's there, he's got to run, maybe move over, but Ken didn't budge. TyMac way up out of the groove now. He's got Larson Rocks in the 31 gaining ground on him. There's Gavin in the 25. He has went one lap down. And there's Killer Miller in the 47. E. Kills in the 46. Both of them are rookies here in the NOSSCAR series. And Gavin went up the hill. TyMac had to chase his car a little bit. Luckily, Gavin went up the track a little, and that allowed TyMac and Gavin to not make any contact with each other. And we stay pointed in the right direction here. Remember, there are no cautions in the the NOSSCAR Short Track Series. 2 out of the 3 C Division NOSSCAR leagues have no cautions. However, only 1 out of the 3 B Division leagues has no cautions. All 3 of the NOSSCAR A Division leagues will be starting on January 15th, 2018 on the NASCAR Heat 2 video game on the PlayStation 4 console. Head over to NOSSCAR.com to learn more about how to sign up. And looks like Larson Rocks is going to pass TyMac for 3rd. TyMac made contact with Killer Miller in the 47. And that's going to allow Larson to take advantage. The leaders have worked their way around E. Kills in the 46 and Killer Miller in the 47. Gavin runs 14th. E. Kills in the 46 runs 13th. Killer Miller runs 12th, just in front of the 46 car in the 47. But now E. Kills is on the inside of him. That's a battle for position, and E. Kills is going to take it. That was for 12th. Up front, Jay Taylor is all over the back bumper of the 78 car of Just Ken. That is the battle for the race lead, but right now you're watching the battle for 3rd and 4th between the 31 and the 24. There's now no more lapped cars in between the 31 and the 2 race leaders. So Larson Rocks has clear track in front of him, and we'll be able to see if he can make any ground on Ken or Taylor. And they are making ground, to be completely honest. They're gaining on the front 2. The top 4 seem to be in a little bit of a zone of their own. Humpy in the 43 running in 5th is well behind these 2. And Jay Taylor hit the wall coming out of turn 2. And now he's choosing to go to pit road because he slowed down anyways, and he's trying to do that to avoid losing any sort of track time. He still will lose some track time, but now that leaves Ken as the race leader, Larson Rocks in 2nd, and TyMac in the 24 in 3rd. They're gaining ground on the 78 car. This puts Humpy in the 43 up to 4th, and this puts Daniel Harmon in the 23 up to 5th. Mananger now up to 6th in the 17, and now Just Ken in the 78 is on pit road. So the new leader is Larson Rocks for the time being. The 31 car gets a bonus point. There's Jay Taylor in the 5 leaving pit road. And now the question becomes, when does Larson Rocks and TyMac come down pit road and get that fuel tank all topped up? It's crucial to get as many points as you possibly can. There is no playoff system here in the Short Track Series, and as most of you know, the NOSSCAR X2 Series has a unique points format. It is your 8 best finishes out of the 24 races in that season for the X2 Series that make up your total amount of points in the standings. So it is not your total points, simply your total amount of points from your 8 best finishes in the X2 Series. There is nothing like that here in the Short Track Series. It is literally most points at the end of the season. The 12-race season is your champion. The defending champion is Just Ken in the 78 car. He's already made his green flag pit stop. Larson Rocks has come down pit road. TyMac led a lap that last time by, and now he's coming down pit road for service as well. And now you gotta believe all these drivers are gonna go with 4 tires and fuel. They gotta fill the fuel tank regardless, so taking 2 tires and sitting there doing nothing while you're waiting for the fuel tank to fill, not much point in that. And now there's the 78 car of Just Ken. When things cycle through, I believe the 78 is in front of Jay Taylor, and Jay Taylor is in front of Larson Rocks. There goes Jay Taylor in the 5, and now we're watching for Larson Rocks in the 31 to go by. He might have already went by on the outside. He's been running very high up on the racetrack. And there's Ken in the 78. There's Larson right there behind him. So Larson is in second, TyMac in third. Oh, and Kansas Kid's with a problem there, right in the center of the racetrack. And we're getting a report that he is electing to hit the start button, so he is actually transparent on these drivers' screens, and they are actually able to drive right through the 15 car. You'll see it right here. He went through him. Might be able to give you a really wild view of it. The sound effects are there, but the damage is not. The 15 car Kansas Kid spun in the center of turns 3 and 4, and it's really throwing these drivers off a little bit, because if he ungoes, if he hits the start button once again, then his car becomes physical. And now the battle for the lead is heating up here. The 24 TyMac takes second place from Larson Rocks. He's now all over, the 15 car freaked me out there, and he's all over the back bumper of the 78. Ken goes up the hill a little bit. TyMac takes the inside. Had to clear the lap car of Mananger, and because of that, he was way low going into turn 3 and 4, and he went up and hit the wall. And now Ken takes the lead back. Larson takes second back. And TyMac in the 24 car now back to third. And it looks, and it looks like, I think Ken got loose or he got bumped by Larson, either one, and he came back up the track right in front of Larson Rocks in the 31, and they both make contact with the outside wall, and TyMac in the 24 has taken the race lead. And while all of this is going on, Jay Taylor in the number 5 car is gaining ground on the top 3. He's running in 4th, and he is scratching and clawing and digging, and he is coming. The first car 1 lap down is the last car on the lead lap is Caleb Starr in the number 95 car. He recently agreed to race in the number 11 car moving forward, so expect Caleb Starr to be in the number 11 from here on out, but he is currently scored in 10th position out of the 18 drivers that will be receiving points from this event. Looks like he elected to take the high line and let the leader, the 24 car, go. The 78 car of Just Ken is gaining ground a little bit now on TyMac. Might have backed off the throttle for a couple laps, cooled the tires, and now he is on his way. And we are getting a report Jay Taylor is now battling with Larson Rocks for third and fourth. Daniel Harmon in the 23 car runs in fifth. We haven't really spoken too much about him in this race. He's been quietly, calmly running in fifth or sixth for the entire race, and right now in the closing laps of the event he finds himself in the fifth position. Getting a report actually that Caleb Starr in the 95 is 2 laps down now instead of 1, and we're watching the battle for fifth and sixth right in front of your race leader TyMac in the 24. It's Daniel Harmon in the red and white number 23 and Dale Jr. in the blue and white number 88. They are battling for fifth and sixth. They are the last 2 cars on the lead lap running in fifth and sixth. There they are. And here comes your leader TyMac. Here comes second place Ken. 2 laps down in 10th Caleb Starr. And Mananger in the number 17 car that you keep seeing in your frame there, behind the 24, behind the 78, and behind the 95 as well. He is the first car 1 lap down, running in 7th position. Quick update on some of the other drivers. E. Kills in the 46 car. He finished in 4th at Pocono, making his debut in the NOSSCAR X2 Series. Now he's going to perhaps go out here and finish in 8th place. He's running in 8th in the 46 car in his second ever NOSSCAR race and his first ever C Division NOSSCAR event. TyMac in the 24 has run down the 88 and the 23. They've been battling side by side a lot for 5th and 6th, trying to figure out who's going to get a top 5 and who's going to just barely miss out on it. And now Daniel Harmon comes back strong on the inside in his red and white number 23 car. Looks like he's going to clear him and take the spot. TyMac clipped the edge of the grass there, trying to keep from running into these guys, and now he's going to get around the 88 of Dale Jr. And now we're going to try to work along the inside of Daniel Harmon. And he's going to be able to do it. The battle for the lead is heating up here. Martinsville Speedway, there is not a lot of laps left. We can tell we can tell you that. And oh! And the 78 of Just Ken has spun TyMac with 3 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. And we've seen it time and time again in the exact same way. Gets in there and hooks the right rear quarter panel and spins them up towards the wall. And something needs to be done. And the officials in the NOSSCAR Tower are stirring up there. Now TyMac just gave a shot to the 47 of Killer Miller. For Killer Miller getting into the back of him moments ago, we can only assume. And it looks like TyMac has snapped. And Humpy in the 43 car was spun on the back straightaway right in the middle of the racetrack. And now the event is over. The 78 car crossed the line first, but we're waiting to hear the official word from NOSSCAR. We're getting a report that the 78 car has... The NOSSCAR officials are stating that due to the 78 car of Just Ken repeatedly making contact with the 24 the exact same way, with the exact same result, Just Ken in the 78 car will be held 1 lap for his actions, and therefore instead of winning the race he will finish in 4th position. There were 4 cars on the lead lap. Your winner of the Martinsville race is Jay Taylor in the number 5 car, making his big return to NOSSCAR and winning the event here at Martinsville Speedway. Larson Rocks in the 31 finishes in 2nd, TyMac 3rd in the 24, Just Ken in 4th in the 78 car. Daniel J. Harmon in the 23 finishes in 5th. Dale Jr. 88 finishes in 6th. The Man Anger 7, E. Kills in the 46 car finishes 8th. Tyler Scott in the 16 car, didn't speak about him much today. He finishes in 9th. Quiet Calm Day. Caleb Starr finishes 10th. And Killer Miller 11th, Gavin 12th, Humpy 13th, Rockin' Lunatic 14th, Kansas Kids 15th. They are the top 15 that made it to the feature race out of the 18 that get points. Head over to NOSSCAR.com to find out details on how to sign up and become a driver. Good night, everybody. 3/4 of the way done. Short Track Series.